I'd like to call the meeting to order. Please rise and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, Madam Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Certainly. Supervisor Moore?
Here.
Councilwoman McNamara?
Here.
Councilman Iacilli?
Here.
Councilman Powell?
Here.
Councilman Martell?
Here.
Thank you. All right, well, we'll start the meeting with our review of the draft agenda. Remarkably, no public hearings. So let's just get right to it. I know, this is a first for me anyway. Let's go forward with the resolutions.
Town
Michael.
Board Resolution 814-2025. This is the notice of public hearing to enact Chapter 233 entitled Tree Preservation. Supervisor Moore and myself met with some folks internally about this, and we will likely be withdrawing this one and putting in a newer version. We still want to review things with Janice, and we'll go from there.
Thank you, Michael.
Mic is off.
You can't hear me?
So that's withdrawn.
It will
You
be
will
withdrawn,
withdraw.
and we'll go from there. Yeah.
Thank you. Town Board Resolution ID number 50421 to authorize the purchase of roofing products and services from Roof Services of New York, Etecta America Company LLC using Omnia Partners contract. Town Board Resolution ID number 50386, co-sponsored by Councilwoman McNamara, to authorize the purchase of a trailer from American Cargo Group Trailers LLC using the Sourcewell contract.
Town Board Resolution ID 50446, authorized purchases of fuel supplier, sales, management, and delivery from TAC Energy LLC, DBA TAC Energy using Sourcewell contract.
Town Board Resolution 50412, authorized purchase of ground maintenance equipment and solution from Cobra Tractor Corp. Using Sourcewell contract.
Oh, maybe. Town Board Resolution ID number 50320, to authorize purchases of industrial hoses and fittings from Moreland Hose and Belting Corp. Using the Suffolk County contract. Town Board Resolution ID number 50410, to authorize purchases of online marketplace from Amazon.com Services LLC, doing business as Amazon Business, using the Omnia Partners contract. Town Board Resolution ID number 50440, co-sponsored by the entire board, to authorize the supervisor to sign any and all documents pertaining to a grant application for the Hampton West Park Revitalization Grant. This is the second grant that we're going to put in for. Town Board Resolution ID number 50263, co-sponsored by Councilmember Iacilli, to authorize the purchase of tree removal, stump grinding, and trimming services using Town of Brookhaven contract with Looks Great Services, Inc.
Town Board Resolution ID 50435, co-sponsored with Councilwoman McNamara, authorize the supervisor to execute an agreement with H2M Architects, Engineers, Land Surveying, et.al. to provide professional engineering design services related to upgrades to Plant Number 2. Town Board Resolution ID 50441, also co-sponsored with Councilwoman McNamara, authorize the supervisor to sign a contract extension with H2M Architects and Engineers to provide professional engineering services for upgrade of SCADA system and upgrade tank monitoring.
And these next few might all sound the same, but they're for different buildings. It's Town Board Resolution ID number 50419, to authorize the supervisor to execute an agreement with Pye Barker Fine and Safety LLC DBA Briscoe Protective to provide fire alarm system monitoring and maintenance at Southampton Town Hall, 116 Hampton Road. Town Board Resolution ID number 50420, to authorize the supervisor to execute an agreement with Pye Barker Fine and Safety LLC DBA Briscoe Protective to provide fire alarm system monitoring, daily test signal and inspection, and burglar alarm system monitoring at the Hampton Bays Town Annex, Hampton Bays Community Center Building, 25 and 27 Palmquag Avenue, Hampton Bays. Town Board Resolution ID number 50423 to authorize the supervisor to execute an agreement with Pi Barker Fine and Safety LLC, DBA Briscoe Protective to provide security alarm system panic button monitoring at the Southampton Town Hall, 116 Hampton Road. Town Board Resolution ID number 50422 to recall and amend Town Board Resolution 2024-80, authorize the supervisor to execute an agreement with Pi Barker Fine and Safety LLC, DBA Briscoe Protective for burglar temperature alarm monitoring, parts and labor services at 116 Hampton Road, Town Hall Data Processing Center. Town Board Resolution ID number 50424 to recall and amend Town Board Resolution 2024-81, authorize the supervisor to execute an agreement with Fire Protection Service Corporation, DBA as Briscoe Protective LLC, for monitoring and maintenance of the burglar system alarm at 585 Bridgehampton, Sag Harbor Turnpike, the Bridgehampton Community Center.
Town Board Resolution ID 50361. 2020, co-sponsored with Councilman Martell, 2025 notice to bidders for Quail Run test boring.
Town Board Resolution ID number 50436 to amend the 2025 budget for various departments. Town Board Resolution ID number 50395 to appoint Labor Management Committee for 2025. Town Board Resolution ID number 50426 to authorize the town attorney to accept a settlement from Geico Insurance Company for damage to a Southampton Town Police Department vehicle.
Town Board Resolution ID 50442, waive a portion of the portable stage fee for Sag Harbor American Music Festival. Town Board Resolution ID 50425, waive a portion of the showmobile fees for the San Gennaro Feast of the Hamptons.
Town Board Resolution ID number 50354 to a resolution to accept the demolition bond in connection with the demolition of an existing dwelling located at 65 Bayview Drive, North Sea. Town Board Resolution ID number 50394, which is the 2025 part-time salaries. Town Board Resolution 50376 to accept the resignation of Diane Derner, Administrative Assistant in the Town Attorney's Office.
Told her I was very upset by that.
I know, I just saw that. Town Board Resolution ID number 50375 to accept the retirement of David Santora, Police Officer in the Town Police Department. Town Board Resolution ID number 50353 to appoint Sean Kerneen to Fire Marshal 1 in Public Safety.
Town Board Resolution ID 50357, co-sponsored with Supervisor Moore. Notice of public hearing to consider establishing a park district known as the East Quogue Park District in the hamlet of East Quogue. And that public hearing is set for August 12th, 2025.
Town Board Resolution ID number 50390, a notice of public hearing to consider historic landmark designation of the site recognized as the Methodist Point Historical Site located at 1040 Flanders Road in Flanders, and we'll have a work session on that on July 24th.
Sunday, could you please add me to that?
Certainly.
And myself too, please.
Town Board Resolution.
Like,
Town Board-
Cindy wants to know if you want to be added to that historic preservation.
Sure.
The whole board, though.
Okay, got it.
Please.
Town Board Resolution 50439, notice of public hearing to consider the acquisition of a historic preservation and conservation easement on the property located at 149 South Country Road in the hamlet of Remsenburg, Spionk, and amend the community preservation project plan and CPF management plan to include said property.
Town Board Resolution ID number 50447, notice of public hearing to consider the Town of Southampton Highway Department Water Quality Improvement Projects for 2025 Community Preservation Fund, 20% Water Quality Improvement Project Funding.
Cindy, could you add me to that, please?
I wonder if we should have a work session just to go through all of those, or, well, at least we need someone from Highway to be here to
Someone will be.
explain it all. Town Board Resolution ID number 50429, notice of public hearing to accept a deed of residential fee from Blair K. Gaza for a property to be maintained as open space located at West Hampton, Suffolk County Tax Map number as indicated pursuant to Southampton Town Code Section 244-4, obtaining a development right certificate, and Section 247 General Municipal Law of the State of New York. Town Board Resolution ID number 50355, notice of public hearing to consider historic landmark designation of the site recognized as the Nathan Topping Cook Family Home located at 439 Hayground Road in Bridgehampton. And we'll have the work session on that on July 24th as well. Town Board Resolution ID number 50438, co-sponsored by the entire board, to authorize the acquisition of a grant of historic preservation and conservation easement and grant of restrictive use easement, and accompanying public access and benefit agreement on the property located at 76 Main Street, West Hampton Beach Performing Arts Center, Inc., Village of West Hampton Beach, and to amend the CPF project plan and CPF management and stewardship plan to include the property.
Town Board Resolution ID 50330, co-sponsor Supervisor Moore, resolution accepting drainage easements in connection with estates at Remsen Road.
That's it. No add-ons. Easy.
We're missing one. I think it's gonna be a walk with, Mark. He's supposed to be doing the contract to go out to bid for,
Oh, to notice the bid for the
West
community
Hampton
center?
Senior Center.
Yeah, all right.
It's very important.
Maybe it'll be a walk-on.
Well,
We noticed
Oh, people ask for,
Yeah, why don't you come on up, because the next topic is the, well, updates from Nick Jimenez, Capital Projects
boardroom.
Manager. And the boardroom.
let us close out this first.
Do you have a stamp? Why don't you have a seat and tell us about the West Hampton Community Center, the walk-ons? You said there'll be
Close this
4?
out.
Sure, so
Be the agenda.
That's what I mean, tell us about the 4 walk-ons.
So because this project exceeds $1.5 million, we have to abide by New York State Bricks law, which requires us to split them into 4 prime contracts. One for general construction, one for HVAC construction, one for plumbing, and one for electrical. So it's one bid, but it's 4 bids.
Yeah.
So then because it's 4 bids, you have to notice 4 bids. So it'll be 4 resolutions to notice each respective bid.
Okay, that makes
So
sense.
yeah, that'll happen on Tuesday. So I am here today to give you all an update on the town boardroom renovations, improvements, what have you. You'll see as you go through the set here, we're extremely limited. Obviously, everybody was here that day. We're extremely limited with what can be done in this room, but you have almost infinite options downstairs. So you'll find 1 concept for the room we're all sitting in now and 5 for downstairs. Michael Guido, our architect, he met the requirements. It raises the dais, provides a fixed in place chairlift over on this side of the room, but it does cut the seating back, depending on your opinion, significantly, or at least almost half. So we go from 50 seats to 32 seats to make the accommodations in this room. I'll leave that up to your considerations.
This one doesn't make sense to me.
Top
Just
one, the
say it.
second floor?
Yeah, it's not worth it.
Yeah, like I said, just by raising this dais and having to put the chairlift And the space that's required for that, it's a small room to begin with. Cost for this, depending on how far we go, if we went minimal, would be in the area 200,000. If we replaced wall coverings, carpet, new chairs, soup to nuts, be around 300,000. These are estimates, today's numbers.
Can you repeat that, please?
Sure.
The number startled me. No.
So to do the basic millwork, keep the chairs, keep the carpet, keep the wall coverings, but give you guys a new dais, do all that carpentry work that's associated with that, and purchase a chairlift. It's in the area of around 200,000.
Look like 2 chair lifts.
No, one chairlift on the right-hand side.
What's this says over here? I thought it's so small, but it looked like it said chair lift.
Yeah, you have the 34 by 54 chair. Oh, that's,
2
you
chair
have the option to,
Put it there.
yeah, if you wanted to wheel it into there.
Oh,
but I
one
don't-
chair lift, but it's optional. Where
Yeah,
it
you either
looks
do it
located.
permanently affixed, or if you wanted to wheel, if you want to get a mobile unit, it could be wheeled.
I think that when we had these discussions, we had originally looked at this, and we're hoping that we could try to make these changes with keeping the seating as is. And I know that was the question: would we be able to do that? But it doesn't seem
Nope.
that that's going to be the case. It looks like we're eliminating a whole row, right?
You're losing the first 2 rows.
The first 2 rows.
I think just one. One.
Yeah.
But
2.5,
that's still, I mean,
or
you
1.5.
know, there are moments where it's pretty full, and
Yeah,
people
sure.
can't sit in here and they have to go to the overflow room. So that defeats the whole purpose of what we're trying to do.
Which leads me to 2nd through the 6th pages. Downstairs.
This one looks nice.
Downstairs, like I said, we have almost infinite possibilities down here. It's a huge space. And I'll guide you through some of these. They all essentially do the same basic improvements, where you're going to have a separated raised dais from the audience, and it creates a conference room behind the stage. I'll wait for the supervisor to return. Yes.
I'll just say briefly on these, because I've already looked at them. The ones where they are on the sides tend to not make sense to me, because part of the reason for doing this was safety concerns and having multiple ways to leave.
To get out. Yep.
So
Yeah. What?
the wall is not really.
Wait, say that again?
These, there's only one way for everybody to file out of here. There's no secondary exit, whereas the ones that are here, you have 2 ways
Oh,
out
okay,
of the
okay.
day.
I see what you're saying. Okay.
Well, you do, when they're on the side, you do have the exit to the exterior on both, but you can't get back to the building. So you could exit.
There's still an exit there.
Yeah, you can exit into the room, which obviously you wouldn't want to exit into the room if you were trying to get out, but you could exit, if it's on the right side, you could exit to the right into your parking area. And,
No, but I'm talking about leaving either side of the dais.
oh, I got what
you
you're
could-
saying.
you
Yes, you
all
could only
have
go
to
to
go
the
out
right
to
side
the right
or the
side.
left side, correct. Okay. That's why we,
Now, when, I know that we're looking at different iterations of the design here, but the chairs, can we make sure that the chairs are as
Sorry.
accommodating as much as possible? In the
Push
sense
me out
of
of the way.
being wide enough, and, I'm not saying they have to be like luxury seating, but, these seats are very narrow,
yeah, well, these are original 1970 to the building, so
Right.
they don't likely meet even the basic standards that
Yes.
you would do today.
Okay.
But understood. And we have again, possibilities with what kind of chairs we would.
Sure, yep. Thank you.
So with that, I'll go through them. To Cindy, I think raises a really good point there, that both of the alternatives on the side, that would be option 1 and option 4 and 5. 4 and 5 are very similar, it just shifts a couple of things around on the dais. But you would only have one exit to the right-hand side in option 1 and to the left-hand side in option 4 and 5.
And also on 4 and 5, you also have anybody entering the space enters directly in front of the dais.
Yes. All the seating is kept to the right of the entrance on 4 and 5, but they would be right in front of the dais. Okay.
Because everybody exiting, like while we're having meetings, would have to exit right in front of us.
What, could you just explain what the goal is
Somebody's
of
hitting the.
no longer having the meetings here up on the same level as our offices and moving them down to the auditorium?
Well, the goal of this whole project, I believe, was the board's desire to have more of a formal dais as opposed to a table, to raise you up above the gallery, if you will, so that there's a little bit more of a separation and a security, or enhanced security features, and then possibly install a bar in this room again to.
As well as it
increase-
being large enough to accommodate the
More
full.
people.
So that
Yeah.
was, yeah, so that was, I'm backing up to this room, right, where we started. So we started with trying to make the improvements to this room. We see what those improvements would entail. Since these improvements are likely not ideal, we do have that space in the first floor that could accommodate a,
It's a totally underutilized room. I mean, that's first and foremost. Beautiful room, but underutilized. And I think too, like just from an ADA standpoint, when people are coming into, I know we have an elevator, but when people are coming into the building, they only have to now maneuver to the first floor. Instead of having to go up an elevator. Sometimes the elevator does not work. We know last year it was down a couple of times. I think that if we're seeking to have the most inclusive space as much as possible from an ADA standpoint, I think making the boardroom downstairs is a much more viable option. And by the way, it looks like we have a conference room too. Does this conference room have windows?
there's one window in the back.
That's great.
We could make it a little wider maybe. We can maybe put some transom in so that our transom's in.
I just when we had, to your point, when I started, the elevator was being retrofitted to go up to the third floor, and we ended up having to have our meetings down here in this room. And then when we did that, the acoustics were not set up to have a meeting down there, and recording wasn't set up down there. So it was really a problem. And every time that the board has tried to have bigger meetings and bigger hearings, they've tried to hold them in that room, and then the sound doesn't work. The recording quality is horrible. And you're now having you're having it down there because it's a very important topic that a lot of people want to weigh in on. And then you're recording and your sound is horrible. So it kind of almost defeats the purpose.
So that's a good point. Anything we did do, if ultimately the boardroom were to be relocated into the auditorium, we would have to, of course,
Upgrade it.
well, yeah, you would need the AV improvements, and
You
also
would-
the
you
acoustic
would-
improvements.
You know, if we're gonna spend all that money, it would be upgraded, so the problems, what she said, would be all solved, and it'd be a quality room where we could be proud and have 100 people come in instead of having people next door or down the hall.
Or your basement.
And it's also, people don't have to come up and then they're wandering around.
I was going to get to that point, so.
It's for the safety wise of people up on the second floor. You don't need the people up there. They're down on the first floor.
Yeah, you would have direct access to the accessible entrance on the first floor of Town Hall. Obviously, we would leave it up to logistics, but you would have the main entrance and you would have that side accessible entrance, but you could prevent people through barricades or what do they call those, little velvet rope lines from going to other parts of the building. There's no reason, if there's a night meeting, that somebody should be on the second floor, correct? There's no reason they should be down by Sunday's office, for instance, or in the building department for that matter. Bathrooms would be right outside of this room as well.
Or in Jim's office.
Or in Jim's office, sure.
Well, how are you going to prevent them from just walking down that hallway?
We would have a guard at the,
Well, not only that, like they have things like I know in the school when they had meetings,
The
they
doors
have like
lock.
they have like, it's like an
what it's
accordion thing
called.
that
Yeah.
goes like a wall that comes out, but it locks and then nobody can go past that barricade.
if we wanted to go that far, we could go that far.
Yeah.
But there's impediments to, access to areas that we don't want people to access, we could implement.
What about the ceiling? It's so high.
So the ceiling, we would keep the height of the ceiling. Well, there's options, right?
It's
So
dropped. But the
you
panels
could
that
drop
hang-
a ceiling, you could make it lower. I think that would kind of, I don't know, I think that would be a negative to the ambiance
Just
of
do
the
acoustic
room.
panels
You
that
could
hang, right?
suspend the hanging acoustic panels that direct the sound back down onto the audience, kind of like you would see in a more recently renovated
Auditorium.
school auditorium or concert halls and things like that.
And if we did do this room, I think it would get used more often for different people would want to use it.
Sure. It would be a, much more larger and more accommodating
and-
space for a crowd, that's for
Yeah,
sure.
and the community might want to end up using it.
So at least, I guess, what I'm hoping to leave here is just a general consensus from the board so that I can give some some guidance to the consultant to which one of these to dig a little deeper in, and I'm
I
guessing,
want to know, did we really fully, look at whether the building department seems like there's, really could use some more space? Did anybody talk about whether they would be relocated there? And I just don't want to jump on something that, you know, like, I thought there was a plan that was being considered to reconfigure that first floor with respect to the building department. Janet said something
Well,
about that.
That was moving some offices downstairs and moving one office to the new building in Hampton Bays.
that has been kicked around, relocating the building department into that room. I mean, I could show you guys the plans. I don't have them with me today.
Hasn't the previous administration moved offices into that auditorium on a temporary basis?
Yes, the inspectors were there.
And it wasn't very viable.
Well, because the ceilings.
Yeah, it's a cube farm in that huge room. It was an echo chamber. It was cold in the winter. But they were there, and the inspectors were there on a temporary basis, and I believe they put the inspectors there because their job function places them outside of the building. for a
Is it gonna be
majority of
cold
the
in
day.
the winter for us?
No, so when you renovate it, you take those considerations into account. That's,
It's
yes,
insulated,
don't
no
think
heat.
of, we look at that room and we all know the negatives that it has right now at the moment, but that's what, those would be addressed in the renovations for either a boardroom or even if it were to be the building department, obviously.
So you want to break down the cost on the downstairs?
So downstairs is a wide swing. And again, that's why I said I'm hoping for a consensus so that I can have the consultant dig a little deeper into the alternatives you prefer. But we're looking anywhere from $500,000 to $350,000 to do downstairs. So 500 to 750K.
That's not bad when you consider up here it's 250.
It's
I was expecting a lot more because of the 250 number.
because you're talking flooring, the ceiling panels, wall treatments. The more expensive option, well, you guys actually, let me put that, I'll go 600,000 to 750K because what I'm getting a sense is the preferred option is having you guys with your backs to the stage. And that does require lowering the stage a little bit right now from what's there. It's not that we can't do it, but that'll be an expense that you wouldn't have.
Which one are we looking at, please?
2 and 3.
And 3.
This, 2 and 3 seems to rearrange a lot.
Yes. So
Yeah, why don't we just, you wouldn't just put us up on the stage?
It'd be too high.
The
Yeah,
chairs
you
are
can be really
rearranged.
high for the gallery below.
Because when we had the meeting in there, we just put up like one set of risers and put the tables and chairs on that set of risers. And we had the stage to our back and it was fine.
Okay. Again, these are all issues that you explore.
Yeah, we
During
did,
this
we did when we had our meeting there, right, Rick? Remember, we had 2 steps up to a riser and then the tables and chairs were set up along the stage and the stage was to our backs. And it was fine.
I think we need to be a little bit higher than that.
Yeah.
We did have trouble seeing the back. people
But I
in the
don't,
back
I
of the
don't think
room.
that stage being behind us was an issue.
No, not at all.
Especially if it becomes a wall.
The one meeting we had it up against we were up against the wall. Remember?
Is-
We were up against
Yeah.
the wall with the windows.
You were here.
Yeah.
Is there any way to get into the basement from here?
Yes.
Yeah, both of these, there's a stair on the right-hand side that goes down to the basement and a stair on,
So we could always go through the basement and then come up to the second floor.
You can, and it's kind of catacombs, because we do records management back in there, so you can go down and you can pop out in other areas. There's actually a door down in the vestibule that comes out at one point.
and you would also have sole access to those 2 exterior exits. Obviously, the one to the parking area and the one to we'll say, the main parking lot.
Yeah, I think that if we're gonna do this, that we should leave this room alone,
Yeah.
not to do both that.
I mean, I think we could still do like work sessions in here.
I
This
think
could
if you
become
sent those
more
out
of
to the
a-
dry cleaner, they would really refresh them.
What?
The curtains, if you
No, they're
set them,
gone.
They're going.
I think you could, they haven't been washed since.
I think we
They'll
can get
probably
new curtains,
disintegrate.
but beside the curtains, I think everything in here would be okay for like work sessions.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying, like, might refresh them.
Even planning board, when they didn't have hearings and stuff like that too, I mean, could still meet in here. They didn't wanna go down the big room.
Nick, So just based on the, what the visuals here, it looks like the option one drawings would be less expensive because it looks like there's less modifications happening to the room. Whereas option 2 and 3 seem to be, there are more modifications. You're taking out the stage. I mean, I get Cindy's point that it looks better, and you have the 2 exits. You still have 2 exits in option 1, but it's just not, one exit is to another area of town hall, right? And then the other exit is just out of the building.
No,
I
you
think
can't-
no,
you
yeah.
can't leave to the left.
It's the actual behind the dais. So if you look at option,
Everybody here is
start on
pins.
option 1, right? So in the
Yeah.
event that someone were to trap your exit, there would be nowhere for you to go. You can only go from, in this case, to the right. That's, I
I
didn't
also
notice
just-
that myself. That,
Wait, are
that's,
we on the
thank you,
stage
Cindy.
in option 1?
that escaped me right away.
Which one?
Option 1?
First thing I thought of.
Stage is up top.
So
The
that,
stage is right here.
That's the conference room,
No,
I
this-
thought.
Yeah, the stage is,
it's right here.
yeah, the stage is, we're not, they turned to over
Up
here.
in option 1, this is the stage.
Yeah,
So we're on the stage?
no, this is a new
You're on a
stage.
raised dais. So option 1, every option, you're on the raised dais, but option.
Every option, we remove
We
the
just-
stage?
No.
No, we just turned, they turned it from this way to this way.
So yes,
The stage, the original stage is still here.
Where is the, I guess my
I don't
bearings
see
are.
it. Where is it?
The original stage is right here. See the stairs going up?
When you enter from, let's say you're checking in to the security
Okay.
desk,
They take this and just.
past the building department. Is this the entry point? Or is this the entry point?
no, the bottom.
Starts up
The
here,
room on the
which
side. I
opposite
thought
side.
they're creating a new room, creating a new conference room.
Line right here is the stage.
So that conference room will be,
Go ahead.
that conference room will be behind what is now the stage.
Those stairs are there. Stage already.
Elevation
Yeah.
plus 8.
I don't know.
And that's an option. I mean, perhaps
18.
you
That can be
essentially
done
feel
down
you
the
don't need a
line too,
conference
yeah.
room right off the bat.
But the problem is too, the other thing I didn't notice on any of these plans is I guess that storage room, or one of those storage rooms, would have to be a CTV room for
Could
all
be.
of the
It could be.
AV equipment.
Yeah, this is the 20,000 foot look at it. This
Yeah,
is
yeah.
not getting into electronics, obviously
The AV
acoustical,
stuff.
You're just
And-
asking about like a layout so that we can then,
Here too.
go deeper.
It's just
I think
showing where
option 2
you
looks the
exit.
best.
Speaking of CTV, I mean, are they gonna have duplicate equipment up here and down there? Because if we're gonna have planning and work sessions up here, but then,
this just stays the way it is.
yeah, but with all the CTV, are we gonna buy, all duplication of
No, what's in there,
equipment?
they could likely work in that room and still operate downstairs at the same time if they wanted, or vice versa. And that equipment could either be relocated to one of these rooms and they would work out of this room when they're up here. But they
That
can
room is
work
teeny
remote.
tiny too.
Would give them a
That's
little
pretty.
more space.
Do we want to invite Mr. Kevin or Andrew to?
Well, I mean, we just need to think about a layout and then that's all logistical stuff after we decide which way we want to lay this out, if we want to lay this out.
Yeah, today we are not setting anything in motion other than continuing
Agreeing on
to
the design.
create a
Yeah.
picture.
But
If
you
we
have
want to
to
go
think about
forward.
Unintended consequences, like having to
Yeah.
outfit a new CTV room.
And also, when we're gonna do it, you're gonna upgrade everything where that stuff is old. It's all been patch mail upgrade. This is the opportunity when we gotta do this, everything's gonna be upgraded to the top. Or they can run wires down and use the same equipment. Except you have different cameras, but
Correct. Once we arrive at a layout, we can get into the more nuanced AV acoustical panels.
Does your estimate include all the cameras?
Yes.
Oh, that's good.
So Nick, I'm kind of leaning towards number 2, but if we could have a walkthrough downstairs just to ask a couple questions, that'd be great at some point.
Yeah, I'd like to do another walkthrough.
Well, I would like to send, if everybody is leaning towards option 2,
Well, you have 1, 2.
I have two.
Are there
too.
less seats if I haven't counted them, but rather than going straight across, can you get more seats if you just go straight across with the seating?
It's the same.
It's the same number, Bill?
Yeah.
Okay. But I would lean towards
I think it
2 as
makes
well.
more sense
Right.
because you're coming into the seating like an actual auditorium. It's nice.
I think the acoustics would likely be better in 2 since you have those other chairs are coming in.
There's extra aisles too for people to walk and get to their seats, which is
You're
important.
removing the stage though in number 2?
It doesn't,
It'll
so the
just
stage
lower
would
it.
never be the stage anymore, correct? Now it's your dais, but it's lowering the height of the stage
Right. For the
where the
dais.
dais is, and then behind that would still be the same level. So the level of the stage now behind your dais would remain. So it's not the entire.
Oh, I see, because if we went in front of it, we would lose a lot of space.
Only thing I would try to do is, on number 2, is to get off this, we have to come down and go off and come up here. If you could if this is the same height, somehow put a door.
So access from the dais without, that's a good point.
Yeah, that way if
Oh, this is
there's,
the
one on either side, if there's something that we have to escape,
Mhm.
you can go that way.
We can look into that.
That's
Instead of-
number 2.
Yeah, instead of going down this way.
Or even just have a door maybe directly into the conference room.
But with number 1, you can keep the stage, you're saying, in case we wanted to use it for something?
Yeah,
I don't know
so
what we would.
all
We
of
haven't
the,
even-
all the options with the dais on the left and the right, the stage stays exactly as it is today.
You're also coming into the room and you're seeing the seats on like through this like the side in option 1, which is like counterintuitive. I feel like when you walk into an auditorium or any sort of like larger meeting room, you walk in, you want to see that you're walking into the seating from the back rather than like a movie theater. Essentially, you would do that too, but I just feel like coming in from the side is it seems counterintuitive. I mean, I'm sure that there are other setups.
Well,
that are
this
similar,
is kind of how Southampton Village's boardroom is. So when you
Yes,
walk in, and
it's
then
the
you
side.
kind of like you can't even really look for a seat because you're walking into people.
It's true. Yeah.
Can you describe the differences between 2 and 3, please?
The differences between 2 and 3 are simply the layout of those chairs. The bar is a little more straight in option 3, and then nicks in at the end. And option 2, it's a little less.
Just hitting your mic with the plans.
My mic is off. So the only difference between 2 and 3 is the layout of the audience chairs,
Correct.
either straight or curved.
I kind of like the curved. What do you think?
If it's the same number, I like the curve better.
It allows us to see, allows them to see, the people to see.
These numbers, to Michael's point before, it depends on the furniture that we ultimately select. They can go up, they can go down. This is just a standard CAD block.
You could also do folding chairs, right?
If you wanted to.
And then rearrange them for different meetings.
Correct. Well,
I'm just saying, it's
They
different
already bought the
layouts and
folding
different.
chairs.
touched on that last time, where if you, it's an option, but it's.
Well, the town of
up to
Brookhaven has
comfort of the
that.
Well,
board.
because all of these ADA seating areas, you could put a folding chair in those areas at least.
I don't know if they're folding. But they're movable.
We could come up with something that is, I'll say, semi-permanent, in the sense that if and when you do want to remove the chairs can be removed, other than folding chairs. And we had the discussion last time where if I become irate, I can pick up a folding chair.
True.
And
I just,
Kinda locked in.
you have
Yeah,
that big,
yeah,
it's still like, because then you're dedicating that big space to one use, and if you can move the seats somehow, you have a bigger room if you
Yeah,
wanted
there's
to do
definitely-
something different in there.
Then we deputize the janitor that we have now, we put him right here.
I cannot hear your remarks, so please speak up.
It wasn't anything you needed to hear.
We were talking about having some room for security over here.
See, that's very important. He wants to be safe.
I like option 2.
Okay.
I like option
we
2.
will further explore option 2. I will also speak with Janice and maybe you about the building department, so we can get more of a idea, just so that's something you guys should consider, because if this becomes a boardroom, that is no longer an option on the table.
Let me ask you another
What
question.
is that?
I know over here, I think we have.
Sure. Like a little bench.
air conditioning
Kind of keeps people out.
Over here.
What is this thing? Can you
That's a bar. That's the actual bar. So think of a courtroom,
It's a wall, a half wall.
half
Like the
wall.
village.
So it prevents theoretically, it prevents someone from charging to you. I mean, they could jump it, but
Is any way
It's a little more
to take one of these windows and make it an emergency exit?
There's
on
no-
this side with those HVAC units, I don't think so.
HVAC's over here.
On this side?
Yeah, if I'm looking at.
So you're on the parking lot side?
Yeah, the parking where the ramp is.
Yeah,
I mean, in the case of an emergency, they could come through and go out the side door. If we had to clear out the building, I mean, that would still be an emergency exit.
Yeah, but it is, if you have a lot of people, it's a lot of people coming through here to navigate here. If you take one of these windows and make an emergency exit,
We would likely need some type of an area of refuge in here.
Yeah,
For
and this way.
accessibility. 'Cause in the event that this door, for whatever reason, was blocked and you could not exit through this door, you would have no accessible means of egress. You have to traverse stairs to get out of the building, basically. So, yeah, we'll look into that.
okay.
Where's the, are these stairs up to the dais?
Yes,
So there's no handicap accessibility to the
there's
dais?
a chairlift. Chairlift is
Chairlift,
just
here's-
same thing. Yep.
Oh,
And it-
I'm sorry, I didn't see it.
Is that a mobile one or a permanent one?
Either or.
Oh,
So,
glasses.
It was hard for me to understand this layout, but now I do. Okay, I'm for 2.
I'm for two.
Two.
And I'm for 2, if anyone's concerned.
Well, I was just gonna say, it actually, it's easier for the clerk as well to be able to come and go from, I know that, it's not that much of a burden for the clerk right now, but I think it's, when something has to be done, the clerk's office is on the first floor, so it's more manageable for the clerk to come in and out.
This, and the deputy clerk sits right here.
correct.
Where's the podium?
There's no
Behind the
podium,
wall.
but we can put a podium.
I thought it was that
Actually,
box
that might
behind
be, yeah,
the
that is the podium right
swinging
there.
doors.
I was looking to the right, correct.
In the center, yeah.
Podium?
The speakers.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, in the center,
Yeah, so
behind
there's-
behind those swinging
They can't-
things.
These doors most likely be locked. You have to
Those
lock
doors can be electronically controlled.
electronic. So you'll have a button
nice.
right here, like you have this,
Exactly.
you'll have a button to unlock these doors to let people in and out.
When Nick wants to come up and present to the board.
Yeah. If not, the people will speak right here.
I think this is a beautiful design.
With the layout, it needs some refining, but it's a good step one.
Really ought to get a kitchen out there.
Second order of business.
Yeah, I mean, just also too, I mean, we're talking about all of our voting going electronic and everything, and, that dais could be set up with all the electronics we need if we want to use, get off of paper and actually join the current century, and a lot of progress.
Yeah, that's actually a good point. The Suffolk County Legislature, they do have computers, for all the 18 legislative seats. And so that, if we could equip that with,
I think all the same.
yep.
Yes.
Hopefully they'll be wireless.
So would you prefer computer?
I was just looking for somewhere where we could just put the wires through so we could plug in our laptops.
We have laptops.
I'm not looking for them to buy computers. We just bring our laptops and just need people to plug them
I
in.
mean, we might be able to actually inset tablet type device
Yeah.
in the table as well.
That'd be awesome.
Well, then
Okay,
meet with Sunday,
permanent
because if we're gonna do electronic voting,
Are your
Whatever we
town
need.
laptops or they're your personal?
I have a town laptop.
And yours?
Town.
Okay. Yeah.
Can't use personal.
Well, just that, there's always the question, the legal question about whether
do
you're
have
using a
laptops too,
personal
yeah.
device.
Yeah, no, everything's on my town
Have
laptop.
We would provide, if
Because
we
then it becomes
provided,
Once you
foilable.
use your personal device, it
Becomes
becomes,
foilable.
yeah, no, so everything's town.
yeah, if we provided a fixed,
Yeah, they have
fixed
a laptop.
tablet, then we could,
Each of us, I
We
think, has an
always-
iPad, so we could potentially,
No, I don't.
yeah, you would have both options. If you didn't want to use that tablet and you still want to plug in a laptop, I wouldn't exclude the use of a
I'm just
laptop.
saying, we could have outlets and places to put wires through and
Yeah.
keep it neat that way.
Plug right there.
And Nick, we can work to look into what would work well with the new system.
Of course.
Too, with the voting and how,
Yeah. we
I don't
would
know what
wanna
that
make-
equipment quite looks like, or, whether it's a program that's uploaded, so we're gonna get involved with that with IT and the audiovisual group, to see what that will look like for the future.
Did the consultant coordinate with the chief about the safety
We haven't gotten,
measures?
we haven't
So
gotten
it's a
that far.
preliminary report that we were supposed to get.
The chief?
Yeah.
No, we haven't gotten that far at all.
So one of the things he had said was like Kevlar or something underneath the front of the dais in case we had to, but I mean, so those are just additional features.
Yeah, that's good to know. Again, very early. I mean, you see there was 7 different layouts here, so now that we have what I'll call the preferred layout, we can get into all of those nuanced details.
Well, in the village as well, police department, because they actually respond to this building in emergencies. First respond. I think when we push our buttons, it goes to the village, right?
Any other questions on the boardroom?
Nope.
Good. Next up, I brought just an update on the selections or the finished selections for the West Hampton Center. These are printed, so it's close, but obviously it's only as good as the printer's representation of the colors of the actual materials. But not much going on here. You have a picture of the exterior. It's darker, or it appears darker in this picture again than what we actually selected, but
Looks great.
Yeah, I like the columns, the front, and the white trim.
interior, we have porcelain floor tiles in the lobby.
Why porcelain floor tiles?
Yeah, in the main vestibule area,
Just as you first walk in,
as you first walk in.
They chip, they crack.
guaranteed not to do that.
Yeah, they met with Peter. Peter was comfortable with them.
That's what he picked out.
Here's the man.
Peter's the man.
He looked at what was easiest, what's gonna last the longest, and what's the easiest to maintain, and what's the easiest to clean.
Okay.
And it's textured, so it's not like it's not a smooth porcelain tile. It's
Like a commercial style.
yeah, more of a sandy texture to it. Even if when it gets wet, it actually gets a little more
Rippy.
rippy.
Better to hold the dirt with.
Yes.
But he said
The youth meeting rooms and offices are getting blue carpet tile. The multi-purpose rooms will be furnished with the vinyl active flooring, rubber-backed flooring, if you will, as will the teen game rooms. You have casework, just standard brown wood with the countertop in a contrasting white to kind of match the porcelain tile. Epoxy floors in the kitchen and radio room, standard gray epoxy floors. And the restrooms will again have porcelain tile floors and subway tile walls. Subway tile walls will be tiled to the ceiling on the wet side and half tiled with drywall and paint on the non-wet side.
So we can add some color with the
We
paint.
can add some color with the paint. Correct.
and the carpet on the square, so it gets stained or ruined, we can just take up a square.
And replace it.
Just make
We're
sure
also-
they get extras.
Yeah, we're getting attic stock, so there will be extras
Because you'll
of,
probably never
oh, yeah.
find it again in 5 years.
and that's it. There's not much really going on. You have the doors on the bottom right there, and most doors will be full view, so that is just the surroundings of windows. Interior doors. Most will be full or half view, so it surrounds the windows and the glass.
That's fine. Everything goes right, you got break ground right after the bat season.
What color is the
Uh,
building, the exterior? Is it like a gray? A
It's
blue
a
gray?
lighter gray than what this picture shows. This picture is very dark.
Okay.
But yes, it's gray exterior, white trim with like a slate
It's almost,
type of.
it's almost, the New England gray.
Mm-hmm.
It looks very nice.
Yeah.
Nick did a wonderful job.
Yes, we anticipate breaking ground in December. Breaking ground will be your tree clearing.
Them.
Yeah, it's
That's-
well. So let me
thought we were
How do you
ahead
want,
of that
how do you describe
schedule.
breaking ground? So there will be work on the site prior to December. But
When?
ideally early November, late October, but that will be survey layout, getting that type of stuff in order and actually mobilizing to the site. Can't start knocking down trees and clearing for the excavation until December because of the bat window. So that is when you'll see machines rolling and excavations happening will be, December.
If you wouldn't mind, Nick, before all that happens, maybe for September, we wouldn't mind just joining for a quick update meeting with CAC West. I know you met with them. It was a very helpful meeting. Everybody really appreciated your time and your presentation. And
Should have cleared the
Sure.
trees.
if you could maybe be there to just kind of give an update on where things are going in September.
We would have saved like 3 months.
So what?
We'll get it done.
No,
It's-
no, we can't break ground, we can't start even clearing until December because of the long-eared bat restrictions.
Well, there's not much clearing to do. So again, I don't want to,
It's like brush.
Yeah, it's mostly brush.
yes,
Because the trees on the west, most of the trees on the west side stays.
correct.
And the stuff in the front, it's all scrub brush. And I think there's a couple of trees where are gonna stay there.
The beginning of any project, like this type of project, you're going to have a couple of weeks where work is going on that you're not going to necessarily see. If you guys prefer to see an excavator and some work being done for your preference, I can have the contractor start some work so it's more of an so it looks like more is going on. But generally speaking, they're going to have to do survey layout. They're going to have to locate any existing utilities, start putting in the proposed utilities and the temporary utilities. And then again, the first thing is clearing and rough grading the site.
It's more important for me that they just do it at the proper times and.
But yeah, you're not going to necessarily see an ant farm with 4 excavators running right off the bat, but there will be work progressing.
Once it
I don't
gets
know
going,
how better to
it'll go
explain
pretty
that.
quick.
Excuse me?
Once it we get going, it's gonna go pretty quick.
It's our hope.
Because we got the contract, not like the contract we had for here.
That is our hope. We're working on it
Yes,
feverishly.
a deadline.
Anything
Anybody else
else?
have any other questions for Nick?
Nope. Any other projects you want to, since you have the floor?
Not off the top of my head.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Shelter is on schedule for
Oh, great.
right around Labor Day. And we met with them earlier this week. They seem to be happy with our progress. And
Yeah, they
that's
said
the next
they
big one, right?
They said they think they might be able to place all the dogs and then
Yes.
need to accommodate the cats.
And the bunnies, right?
Yeah, the bunnies.
Right about the bunnies.
Oh, yeah. So I'm going to start my update first if I could, because Nick met with some of the people from Franca. We went over the Maritime Park Plan. Some of the misconceptions have been, what we were actually doing, things that were promised that weren't really budgeted for or even possible with the DEC. So Nick did a great job of kind of putting everything in order for the president of Franca, so she knew exactly what the process was going to be moving forward on the Maritime Park.
How about updating us?
So we are still waiting for the DEC to issue their permits. They move at the speed of DEC. Our consultant has been calling them almost weekly to try and get updates. We ran into the same issues with the round pond improvements. They're going to get us the permits and issue comments when they want to.
But did the consultant finish the design
Yes.
for the pier and the
Correct.
kayak ramp, so
So the kayak
everything's
launch,
ready
that's
to go once we
As
get
soon
the
as
DEC permit?
signs off on it, correct. And that's what we spoke to Angela about.
It's the same trouble we're having with Bel Air waiting for the permits.
Can you call somebody?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, they take. There's nobody. To, honestly, there's like almost nobody to call there. They have they have different offices throughout Long Island with different divisions. So one division might be good, but you're waiting for the other division to issue their comments. And then one division might issue comments that then affect the other division's comments. So now the other division was okay, but now they have additional comments.
Geez, we're not building a bridge, you know? It's a little kayak launch
Which was my
here.
point to Angela, because they had visions of grandeur there that the DEC would never approve.
You're talking about
Like a
the
like a
prior,
legitimate waterside walkway through the marshland.
well, that was sold to the public by somebody who shall not be named.
Yeah, and maybe there's something there, but, you know, we're not talking about that yet.
No.
Yeah, I thought,
Thank you, Nick.
All good?
I don't know, Rick, did you want to ask?
No, that was it
anything
for
else?
Nick. I mean, he's going to come to a Franca meeting to actually kind of back up Angela because there were things promised over time. These visions they had were pretty grand. And, but there will be a request. I think you'll have a meeting down the road with them to see what they could do for the next steps.
Yeah.
Whether it be bathrooms or clearing areas and stuff like that. So Nick got a little bit of a heads up on that.
I remember when I first got here, I said, I want to see the plans for the, you know, along the river. Oh, there are no plans for that. It's like, oh, okay. I thought there were.
How are we coming along with the plans with Tom, the site plan for the transfer station in North City?
I'd have to
I know
check
he's
with, I'd
watching,
have to
so-
check with Tom and,
He's supposed to be giving us a
Overview.
overview of what we expect and he's going to show us how the North Sea transfer station is going to look like with the glass crusher and
Oh, that,
the
yeah.
tire
Recycling
recycler,
programs.
the mattress recycler, and you know,
we
the-
did get really
the-
good
the-
news from
the
PSAG.
bags, the
PSAG
green bag
seems,
machines.
they seem willing to bring three-phase primary electric into the site. When we bring three-phase primary electric into the site, that will allow us to put the leachate pumps, the proposed cardboard baler, and the glass recycler all on three-phase electric without step-down transformers and conversion transformers and everything
Save a lot of
else.
money by doing it that way.
I don't know if we save money so much, but it removes equipment that
Yeah, you don't have to buy the
eventually
equipment.
needs to be maintained and
Yeah.
replaced. And then lastly, the Hampton Bays Bike Trail, for all intents and purposes, is complete. The final walkthrough with the state and our consultant NV5, that for their own reasons, the state does not allow us to attend their walkthrough. They walk through separately.
Really?
Yeah, we do. So as the project sponsor, we walk through with our consultant and we comment. There was one sign that I requested they remove because it was blocking a stop sign. And after we do that, then the state walks through. And once the state signs off, that project will be complete. They moved the sign. I drove by this morning. That meeting is supposed to happen late next week, I think Thursday. After that, it'll be done. And
That's
we can
very
get our
exciting.
reimbursement from them.
Then we're going to be tearing down a few more buildings.
Yeah, Jackie
Uh-huh.
reached out to me. Not Jackie. Emily reached out yesterday. There's a stable.
Yes.
You know about the stable building and a little shed.
I
Just
think
ask
there's
them
2
if-
sheds in the stable.
Where's
You
that?
know, is there electric to the stable? She hasn't gotten back to me yet, but
I have no idea.
it was in Noyak, right?
Yes. And there's, I think, a couple more up in Flanders too at that.
The stable and the shed is tailor-made for us to cooperate with waste management and highway and just bring that thing down.
Yes, and saves the town and it's expedited.
Yes.
It's done in-house and the guys like doing that.
But we couldn't do in-house the public safety building in Hampton Bays, so did we go out to bid to get someone to do that?
We are developing the plans for that, to put that out to bid hopefully next week.
That's
Or
been
not
going
out
on
to bid, next month.
forever.
Not next week, excuse me. Yeah, that was, so I walked through it and I took a look at the building and then I asked Deputy Highway Superintendent Brager to take a look. And it's a large building with a large basement, and everybody felt it was best to leave it to more of a professional outlet that has bigger excavators, bigger trucks, and the ability to get it out of there quicker than.
Because you have to reach way down inside.
Yeah, it was. Yes, that there were complexities to that we didn't feel comfortable taking on, essentially. Okay. All right.
All
Thank
right,
you, everybody.
thank
Have a
you.
great day.
Thanks for all your work, Nick.
Sorry to put you on the spot there.
He's got to get used to it. So Rick, why don't you continue with
All
the
right, so
updates?
Watermill CAC meeting this week, the usual concerns about traffic and actually signage has become a big thing in Watermill with the shops at Watermill. So Ryan was on top of that, and also just some questions about the cannabis dispensaries and the zoning that we put in place. I was clear that the zoning we did was not to eliminate a cannabis shop, but more to be inclusive on the character of Hampton Bays and increasing the length of the downtown. We also tonight, I want to thank Cindy, because Cindy's been covering the Flanders CAC meetings that coincide with the Watermill. So Cindy, thank you for that. And concert tonight in Good Ground Park, wood, and I said that right, wood vibrations. So it is acoustic, and it's a pretty good show. So if you want to mellow out a little, go to Good Ground Park around 7 o'clock tonight. Thank you.
I did mine when I was Nick was here.
Okay. Let's see, yesterday I had a Pine Barrens Commission meeting, and among other things, we're retaining a consultant, SWCA Environmental Consultants, to prepare a community wildfire protection plan for the 29,000 acres of Southampton area of the Central Pine Barrens region. So that's exciting that that's getting going, and just that there's an emergency preparedness meeting that the county is running tonight at the West Hampton Pines community in West Hampton.
So did they talk about increased fire roads or anything through the Pine Barrens?
Yeah, that's going to be part, I mean, that's something I think is important.
Because
That'll be
access was
something,
tough for
yeah.
them.
So who pays for that?
The Pine Barrens Commission,
Okay.
yeah, it's about $175,000, I think was the price. But it's good, and, I know the county's looking at it too, so everybody has to come together with all their ideas and come up with something. Well, that's it for me. How about you, Michael?
Very busy week and last week. A lot to actually update, but I'll just, I was invited, just on a community note, by the Peconic Bridge Walkers to take a walk at Hampton Bays. It was really nice.
How
Walked
often
over
do
the
they do that?
Ponquag Bridge. They do it every week, multiple times a week. So that was very nice joining them. I will also say that I took part in the Gabreski Community Advisory and Review Board this week, taking Tommy John's place as the vice chair of that committee. There was, about 10 to 15 people who came out, spoke about some of the concerns that are still ongoing. The committee concluded that we are going to send a letter to the FAA, keeping in mind that the Gabreski Airport is a county facility that the FAA controls. So the federal government, of course. But we're going to ask the FAA if we can have a staff person at the control tower there throughout the evening hours, midnight hours, into the early morning hours. After 11 p.m., there is actually no one there, and it's outsourced. All the guidance to the pilots is actually outsourced to other airports that have this staffing. So, a lot of people are complaining that there are planes flying at low levels at 2 a.m., 3 a.m. And if there's somebody who's more localized there at the airport, they may be able to provide some guidance into taking an alternate flight path that isn't so disturbing to the general peace of the community. So I thank Legislator Welker for continuing that, as well as Suffolk County Executive Romaine. Sometimes when new administrations come in, some committees stay around, some committees get cut. This committee, has been maintaining itself and continuing, and both of them are working together, and I think it's an important thing. So we'll see how that letter, what that letter leads to.
Okay, thank you. Cindy, what's your update?
I did cover the Flanders, Riverside, Northampton CAC for Rick this week. Actually, it was a great meeting. We had our full committee meeting there, and we also had, I wanted to say there was probably about 10 community members that showed up as well. Had a lot of great discussions. They gave me their list of their top blighted properties in all three of those hamlets. So Ryan Murphy's working on that. I've been looking at it to see what we can do, and Sean Cambridge has also been helpful with that. Because some of those properties have been in, they've been in court, they've been fined, so we're just kind of trying to see how we can further kick that, to get resolution rather than just continuing to have these people in court. And then they also had some traffic ideas that I am going to be meeting with Tom Houghton and also Charlie McCardle about. So that was good. I will not be at our meeting on Tuesday. It's actually in almost 4 years the first meeting I will miss, but I figured with no public hearings and a very light agenda, I've asked Rick to actually read my resolutions. I was asked by Kim Lauby, the director of HUGS, to join her and her staff at the Community Anti-Drug Coalitions of America Mid-Year Training Institute Community Coalition for Community Coalition Leaders. That is in Nashville, so I will be with them. It is at no cost to the town. So I will be away at that, and I hopefully have some good information when I get back, meeting with them. And there's law enforcement there and community leaders, and as we try to form this coalition, it's a great way to meet with other people about what they're doing in their communities. As cannabis is now legal, and we look for prevention for our youth, and so I look forward to doing that with them.
Yeah, great. Have a great trip.
Thank you.
All right, well, if there's no other remarks, then I move to go into executive session for acquisitions and litigation and then close.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thanks, everyone.